Odyssey now has hundreds of new exclusive music stations for you to discover your new summer soundtrack.
Get moving with worthy workouts for a cardio sesh fueled by today's top artists.
Hanging with your crew? Throw it back with Picnic Party for old school jams for your cookout.
Or sail away with Odyssey's new yacht rock station, Jugger Yacht.
For summer barbecues, road trips,
or relaxing poolside.
Hundreds of new exclusive stations, plus all your favorite local radio stations and podcasts. It's all on Odyssey.
Brought to you by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar.
Odyssey's going back to school, and we've got all the supplies you need, like A+ exclusive music stations and podcasts to help you or your student excel. Wake up and get the school day started with Acoustic Sunrise, the best mix of acoustic pop. Hit the books with Classical Odyssey, passionate classical music to help you focus while you study. Listen to essential school podcasts like Grammar Girl's Quick and Dirty Tips for Better Writing, and be inspired with TED Talks Daily. Get back to school with new exclusive stations, plus all your favorite local radio stations and podcasts on Odyssey.
All right, Joe, we're going to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline right now. Shop over 1,500 Toyotas indoors in one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. The head coach of the University of Miami Hurricane football team, Manny Diaz, is going to join us here for a couple minutes. Coach, thanks for the time. Welcome to Alabama Week.
We're here, man. It's game week. Everybody's ready. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, I always wonder. I always think back, Manny, to Bill Arnsparger, who used to, like, do bed check and always, like, he'd come up with something last second, start thinking about something after watching more and more tape right up till the night before the game. And I see him talking to A.J. Dewey and Bob Baumhauer and Glenn Blackwood about something he wanted to put in last second. Are you still making adjustments on your defensive stuff, or you're kind of looking and going, oh, man, you know what? I kind of like this idea. Are you still kind of flirting with different things?
I think there's always little tiny tweaks, like what you're saying. But, obviously when you've had a whole offseason to prepare, you introduced a game plan a week ago. We'll basically go back through it again this week. You as a player, you don't really want to hear something right before the game like, hey, I've got a great new idea, because
that's a good point.
A solidly executed good idea sometimes is always better than a poorly executed great idea.
Right.
So, that's kind of how it works.
I was looking at the depth chart and just some of the names and working off of your depth chart that came out here recently. Michael Redding has kind of moved up. What have you seen from him, Coach, through this camp?
Highly competitive guy. Takes a lot of pride in his route running. Really just, understands some of the details that Rob Likens is trying to get through to those guys and makes difficult catches, has a knack for making contested catches. So, Mike's had a really good offseason and excited to watch him play.
Coach, I saw you talking about Zach McLeod the other day, and now his new position. He's really stepped up there at the end and rushing the passer. How has he been since that change of a position for him and taking advantage of another year for him at the university?
With Zach, you're going to get high effort. You're going to get, extraordinary toughness. He has impressed me with the way he's taken to the technical aspect of playing defensive end, and just kind of absorbed, Jeff Simpson's coaching like a sponge. And our last scrimmage, he really played well. I know I've made the Trent Harris comparison before, but he's got great foot speed and quickness, and I think he can create some problems for offensive linemen.
Coach, I think we're always curious when depth chart comes out. You kind of look at all the young guys and where they fit in. It looks like Elijah Arroyo is going to play a lot with Will Mallory. Is that fair to say off what you've seen in camp? Yeah,
there's no question. Yeah, Elijah will be on the field. He's had a great training camp. We think he's got a very, very high upside. It's great to have a guy like Will Mallory, but it gives us the ability, if we can play them both, use them in different dimensions, right, different ways. So it's an exciting future for Elijah.
Not to keep bringing this up, Zion Nelson at left tackle. Is he going to be ready to go against Alabama?
Absolutely. Yeah. He's been back now working with us, practicing, and he's got those tackles got their hands full. Bama's got some elite edge rushers, but great to have Zion's athleticism there on the edge.
Coach, and we were talking before you were on this morning about one one part of your team I feel real good about because of their experience. You got some guys back. You got some size, and all the reports are they've been real physical, is that offensive line. I just think that's one area going into this thing. When you get together, you're like, okay, I don't expect them to dominate. They're playing against really good guys, but I expect those guys to play well and give us a chance to really set up our running game and to hit some big plays. Would you agree with that?
We are definitely improved on the offensive line. We've improved every year over the last few years. To your point, you're probably going against the best front that they will face all year.
Right.
But I think those guys do have a lot of pride in terms of how they do their job and getting some size, back, adding guys like Navon and Jalen Rivers. And we've grown. We're just a bigger unit than we were a year ago as well. So that's going to help because obviously we got some big people we got to go block.
Piggyback on Joe's question a little bit, talking about the running back and the running game, Cam Harris. How has he been in camp? How has his game evolved since you started coaching him there at the university and to become that number one guy and kind of sustain it, even with other great recruits and other great guys that you brought in there?
Yeah, I think, the competition of having all those guys has helped Cam. I think it's, Cam has worked hard in the offseason. He worked hard, last offseason. I think it's just consistency of performance. Cam this time last year came out hot out of the gates, had, huge performances against UAB and Louisville. And I think it's about just that consistency of performance. I think we believe Cam can do it. He finished the year really well, had, really good game against Duke, big game in the bowl. And so that's what you want, when you've got older guys like this. I mean, that's the idea is that older guys that understand how to attack every day, every rep, every drill, and that consistency of performance shows up on game day.
Coach, Bryce Young gonna get his first year as starting quarterback. The last two guys are now may be playing against each other in week one as the starting quarterbacks. So I just wonder, as you look at Bryce Young with what he does and the ability to run, but also threw for a zillion touchdowns in Southern California coming out. How good is he, and what's the key to not letting this guy have some crazy game as the new starting quarterback for Alabama?
Well, the key with any quarterback, especially any young quarterback, is how you do versus the run game, right? I mean, I think they've got a stable of running backs. That's probably the strength of their offense. It's really where they have the most experience. Wow. Is that running back? I mean, obviously they lost a great one a year ago, but they're old. I mean, they've got fifth-year seniors at Alabama playing running back for them. It's easy for a quarterback to hand the ball off, so. We've got to make it hard for them to just run the football on us, where they can just control the quarterback, give him easier throws, and then to that point, you've got to contest. You've got to get a quarterback off of its first look, and there's a lot of different ways to do that. A lot of different types of coverages we can try to do that. Where he's got to drop back and try to go through his progressions, and maybe the speed of the game early on is a little quick for him. He's got a heck of a release. I mean, he really whips that ball. He's got high level accuracy. I mean, it's everything you'd expect for a guy, ranked number one quarterback coming out or whatever. But it's still, it's going to be a heck of an environment for everybody out there, playing it in that stadium, and that's why I think it's about trying to make that quarterback find a way to go through his progressions and see if he can do it.
Coach, which part of your team has improved the most since spring football? What part you go, wow, this has been a really nice group the way they've played here just a few days before this Alabama game?
I mean, I think the two that probably jump out would be linebacker and wide receiver.
Okay.
I think our depth at wide receiver, the young guys coming along, who I think are going to feature for us more and more as the year comes along. Getting guys like Rambo more in tune with the system, and then the same thing at linebacker. The addition of Keontre Smith, inside linebacker, and what his speed does to us. Amari, same thing at striker, and still having, really good players, in there like Frierson, Corey Flagg. We're just so much faster on defense than we were a year ago. I think that stands out.
Coach, talking about the defensive tackle, I saw Coach Simpson talking about them also, and maybe being the deepest position on your defense. Do you agree with that the defensive tackle position, talent-wise, could be the deepest you have on that defense?
Yeah, that could be fair to say. I mean, there's a couple other spots. I mean, obviously we feel like at corner, we've got a good level a good group of corners, more than 2 starting corners. We've really got 4 guys who have played a lot at corner. We've got 4 guys that have played a lot at defensive tackle who we think are really talented, and that's just so important. I mean, I've not been a part of a defense of a great defense. It did not have that type of depth where there's not a big drop off between your 1 and 2 defensive lines.
Hey, Coach, real quickly, too, before we get jumping ahead, and we got a lot of stuff to want to talk. Avonte Williams reinstated. What was behind the decision, Coach? It looks like from the media said he's going to be out 6 games. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, as the case evolved, and we were presented the information at hand, when it became a possibility that there was an avenue for Avonte to come back, I think what we were looking for is how can we make this moment transformational in his life, in an educational way, a way where there could be mentorship. I mean, just a lot of things to really help Avonte be the best version of himself he can be down the road. I think that's part of our duty, getting to coach all these guys. Avonte, hasn't done anything physically now for, over a month. So he's going to work with our strength and conditioning coach here for the next couple of weeks just to get him back into some type of playing shape. He's got some, off the field type things that he's going to be working on. And that's why we just didn't want to try to rush him back into competition. Give him the opportunity to get all this stuff, get himself back into the program and grow out of this situation.
Coach, Bubba Bolden, I got to ask you about him. Has he become kind of your vocal leader or like the coach on the field for you on the defense?
He really has. Bubba's had a great camp, much more consistent level of play. He's had a great offseason in the weight room. He's just dedicated himself, just what you'd want to see an older guy that, comes back, just what you would want to see him do. He's so intelligent. He's so smart. He understands beyond his position, so he can affect players around him by, making the checks. Hey, alert for this, be ready for that, so on and so forth. So he's a huge. His presence in our secondary is really, really big.
Got to ask you this one, Coach. We always talk about Alabama's talent and the best 5-star in this state and that state and this one. From the talent you've seen on the field, where does this rank for some of the teams you've seen and you've played against?
The Alabama team?
Yes.
Well, I mean, until you get on the grass with them, you're really not sure. I mean, certainly defensively, their front will be as good as the front as you have an opportunity to go up against. And when you've got a great front, great pass rush, that's obviously going to make the DB's jobs a lot easier. They've got a lot of unknowns on offense, right? I mean, you know that they're all super talented kids. I mean, all the highest rankings, so on and so forth, whatever that means. So they're going to have a great looking team. They'll be well coached. They'll be well organized. But I mean, we're to be honest, we're way more concerned about us and how we perform.
You know what I feel really good about, though? Zach actually brought this up this morning. We were breaking down different positions we like and don't. The fact that you got a quarterback that's got a lot of experience to help those young guys that haven't been through this moment, to have that guy kind of walk out in front of everybody knowing and with his confidence got to do a lot for this team, something coaches can't do. Would you agree?
Absolutely. The team sees Derek. I mean, he gives everybody confidence. And that matters, right? I mean, that's, having an experienced quarterback, having a quarterback that can extend plays with his legs, which he will have to, and having an older football team. We've got a lot of guys who have been around and they want to be in this game. They're excited about this opportunity to be on this stage. So but when you got a guy like Derek, it makes everybody sleep easy the night before the game.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thanks,
man.
Coach.
I hear the whistles. I was about ready to go out and do some drills with Zach. I heard the whistles out there. Thank you, man.
You got it, guys.
All right, that's head coach Manny Diaz joining us on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. It's Alabama week.
Yeah, man. See, you can drop a lot of great schemes and all that stuff, but your guys
got to play the game
on
Saturday,
man.
Right?
Because I can tell you, that guy coaching that other team is looking for every weakness possible, and and see how they match up. It's going to be fun. Find out where they are off of the guys back, the guys they've added, 3 important transfer portal guys. We'll get into more of that stuff, got a lot more. Well, we got Drew Rosenhaus going to join us next. We got a lot to talk to Drew about, including Sunday night TV comments. We'll talk to him about that. Plus, today for an agent has got to be crazy as he's got clients. Drew, heard anything yet?
Yeah, right.
Am I in? Am I out? Let me know when you hear. All right, hey, listen, you won't have any problems about let me know. All you got to do is go out and see when I talk about South Florida Chevy dealers. Woo! Man, what great products. So much fun to talk about something that looks really good. It's nice when you go, hey, have you seen a Chevy lately? And they go, nah, I haven't been out there for a while. What are they? Listen, I like the best overall products we've ever had. SUV's got a brand new look, more space, great safety features, fantastic price, and unbelievable look. We got to get you out there to see them. What size SUV you looking for? A lot of people going to SUV family and South Florida Chevy dealers in 2021 going, man, we got some specials, baby. We got that new Suburban and that new Tahoe. Got a brand new look, have more space. The new midsize SUV, the new Traverse. Boy, I'll tell you what, you are going to be blown away with all the space they have in the back seat to go at the front seat. That big family's going to go, hey, Mom and Dad, midsize, but I like this. This is nice for everybody. And then the Equinox SUV, seeing them all over the place, along with the Chevy Blazer and those Trailblazers. Man, we got something for everybody, according to what you're looking for, what fits your needs. But one thing they do have, no matter, I say midsize, small, or the big boys, they are built for space for you no matter what size you are, and I know you're going to love the look. And Silverado trucks, man, I don't have time to tell you about all our trucks, but I tell you what, I know one thing, they're strong, they're durable, and we got the perfect truck for you and some of the best deals of any trucks in South Florida right now. So get on out, man. Find out for yourself. Look, we got a lot of them. We want to make deals and sell them to you to make sure you're happy, something you can afford, something you love to drive every day, and that's what your South Florida Chevy dealers are all about. Dade, Broward, even Monroe County. Find new roads and fall in love.
CuriosityStream has thousands of documentary films and shows on demand on any device. We're the Netflix for nerds, the Hulu for history buffs, the Disney Plus for the scientist in us. Back to school means getting 25% off annual plans at CuriosityStream. That's a little over $1 a month for thousands of brain-boosting documentaries. Hurry, sale ends Monday.
We got a singer!
Odyssey's going back to school, and we've got all the supplies you need, like A+ exclusive music stations and podcasts to help you or your student excel. Wake up and get the school day started with Acoustic Sunrise, the best mix of acoustic pop. Hit the books with classical Odyssey, passionate classical music to help you focus while you study. Listen to essential school podcasts like Grammar Girl's Quick and Dirty Tips for Better Writing, and be inspired with TED Talks Daily. Get back to school with new exclusive stations, plus all your favorite local radio stations and podcasts on Odyssey.
Your life, your hopes, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m., it's really none of our business, and it shouldn't be anyone else's. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
It's your South Florida Chevy dealer today.
All right, Joe, let's head back out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. We have super agent Drew Rosenhaus on the line right now.
Busy today.
Yes, today's a busy day, I'm assuming, for Drew and that phone. Hopefully your phone is charged up today. Yeah.
Yeah, it is, man. Busy day is right. Brutal day. The worst couple of days in our business. Just so hard to see guys who've worked their entire life get cut. The cut downs are today officially at 4 o'clock. They started the last couple of days. You know what's really brutal? What's even worse are the guys who make it past today's cut down and then get released tomorrow after teams invariably claim guys. Keep in mind that just about every NFL team will claim a minimum of 2 players off of waivers. And so there's going to be 2 guys that are celebrating today that are going to get the axe, but most of those guys are going to at least be invited on the practice squad. The NFL, with COVID, the last 2 years expanded the practice squad to 16 people, And almost, more than a quarter of those guys can be on the practice squad and can be veterans now. And they upped the practice squad salary to $9,200 a week. And you can bring these guys, on and off without much. There's a lot of flexibility. So at least there's going to be 16 guys who get cut today. They're going to wind up on someone's practice squad in all likelihood.
Yeah. Hey, Drew, just to follow up to that, you expect the league to be active with little mini trades like the Dolphins have done with 2 offensive linemen already? You expect that to be busy today?
I do. I think teams are figuring out that rather than rolling the dice and seeing if they can get a guy on waivers, why not just give up a late pick and get the guy that you want? I think there's so many trades during the draft that if you want to acquire an extra 6th or 7th round pick, you can. So why not go into if you target a player and you'd really like to get this guy and you think he's going to get cut, he may not get to you because he may get claimed by another team. Why not go ahead and snag him for a late conditional pick? And that's what the Dolphins did with Greg Manns, the center that they got from the Ravens, and he'll wind up backing up Michael Dieter.
Drew, I want to ask you about this. You made a little bit of headlines on WSVN Sunday night saying you wouldn't be surprised if Deshaun Watson joined the Miami Dolphins or was traded here to the Miami Dolphins. Can you elaborate a little bit more on what your thinking was with those comments?
Sure. I appear every Sunday night on Channel 7 Sports Extra, and I wasn't looking to make news. Deshaun Watson's not my client. I certainly wasn't trying to cause any aggravation for the Dolphins organization either, but I was asked a question. I answered it honestly. And quite frankly, people within the league that I talk to believe that the Dolphins have a realistic chance to acquire Deshaun Watson. And certainly I'm not speaking for the Dolphins, nor am I speaking for the player who's not my client, but this is something that I've heard. And that's why I said it wouldn't surprise me. And shouldn't be a shock. I mean, Deshaun Watson's available on the trade. It's pretty clear that the Texans are moving him at this juncture. It doesn't look like they have any intention of playing him or he has any intention of playing there. And the Dolphins have been attached to Deshaun Watson since the get-go. Watson has the ability to control the trade because he's got a no-trade clause. And it's been reported wildly that Miami's one of his top choices, if not the top choice. The Dolphins have a wonderful young player in Tua who looks like he's going to be a fantastic player. But you know what the saying is, a sure thing is better than a maybe thing. And if the Dolphins can land a sure thing in Deshaun Watson, who's, arguably one of the top players in the league, as opposed to hoping that happens with Tua, then who can blame them for doing that? Now, there's probably a lot of things that have to happen. Like, one, if the Texans are going to insist on 3 first-round picks and plus, that could be very difficult because we all know Deshaun Watson has outstanding legal issues, and I don't think any NFL team can afford to just gamble multiple first-round picks without knowing what Deshaun Watson's flexibility is going to be or his availability, I meant to say, and no one knows the answer to that.
So how would you go about, just to follow up that part, because that's what I was going to ask you, how do you go with a guy that's got legal problems, civil and criminal? How do you go about trying to decide what's fair value for a guy when you don't know when he's able to play?
Well, again, this is pure speculation, but if I were the Dolphins or any other team, and I've heard clubs have done this, they're speaking with Watson's representatives to get a very strong gauge of what the case looks like, talking to the league to get a feel for what is actually going to happen, do their own research, possibly speak to the representative for some of the alleged victims. You have to do a tremendous amount of homework, and you only make this trade if you feel confident that ultimately Watson is going to be available. Now, as far as coming up with compensation, there's limitations on structuring conditional trades. You can't say, that you condition this trade on whether a guy's going to be suspended or not. You can certainly base it on, some variables like how much they play can determine what the pick looks like or how many games the teams win, things of that nature. That's not unprecedented, but it's a tricky situation. Yeah. But for a guy like Deshaun Watson, you could figure it out.
Drew, I know he's not your client, but I got to ask you this. Are you surprised the NFL hasn't come out and said anything about the situation with Deshaun or what's going to go forward or what possibly could go forward? You think that might be holding back a possible trade at this point, not knowing what the NFL's thinking about what's going to happen in the near future with him?
I think the NFL's in a tough spot because he hasn't been charged with anything yet, right? I mean, It's just an investigation, and it's civil. So for the NFL, it's an ongoing process. They can't take a finite stance because there's still a lot of moving parts. And let's face it, Deshaun Watson, he deserves the benefit of the doubt. He hasn't been found guilty of anything yet or much less charged. It's all civil at this juncture. And although the allegations are quite serious, the NFL can't go too far yet.
Hey, Drew, I'm just curious, the other part of this I keep thinking about with this going on, and Tua's had a really good camp and has looked like a different guy from a year ago. Boy, Coach Flores got to put this far out with him. I don't care what anybody says. Well, they're professionals. They need to know this stuff goes on. Don't you think Coach can have to sit down with Tua and go, hey, you're our guy. Don't listen to the outside stuff. You expect that would take place?
Well, I'm sure that there's been a lot of discussions with Tua and his representatives. I can't imagine how upsetting these rumors are to him. I'm sure his camp is working really hard to get some clarity on this, and it would be very interesting to sit in that room and see what the Dolphins have said to him. Yeah, quite frankly. Yeah. And certainly the Dolphins have had the opportunity to shut this down in the media, and they've elected to be mum about it. Not really comment on it one way or the other. So. Hey, look, where there's smoke, there's fire. And Tua obviously is a young man that's accustomed to adversity. He had a brutal injury that he battled back from to be a top pick and obviously has a tremendous future. So he's no stranger to adversity, and certainly quarterback is a hot potato position. There's a lot of pressure involved, and this is something that he's going to deal with throughout his career, most likely.
Hey, Drew, before we let you go, and thank you for your comments on Deshaun Watson. I was afraid you were going to go no comment today or something. I was afraid you had somebody call you, man. We were going to get no comment, so we appreciate that. But I wanted to ask you one more thing. No. Do you get a call from general managers or head coaches before the player on the release, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'd say most of the time the team will give me a heads up ahead of the player getting released, or at least simultaneous. It's rare that a player will find out before I do. I think a lot of times, teams will let the agent know to help support the team. And oftentimes, if they want the player to come back, they want to let the agent know, look, we'd like to bring this player back on practice squad. Yeah. We'd like to bring him back at some point, or here's our thinking about him moving forward. So a lot of teams are courteous enough to give us a heads up. If not, we find out very quickly from our clients.
And one more thing, because this always pops up. Everybody likes to know how much money everybody can get. So the guys 2 years or less get one amount, 2 years or more can get more, but you can also negotiate if they really want you even more as a practice squad player. Can you give me some numbers on that stuff?
Actually, the practice squad is the same for everybody. It's $9,200, but you're right, Joe. Teams can pay up to, essentially they can pretty much pay up to what would amount to like the minimum contract. So It's rare, but if a team really wants a guy that bad, then they can certainly pay them more than the $9,200 on the practice squad, and it's happened.
Wow, that's very interesting. I did not know that, right?
You know what? Money's always a good way to end things because everybody likes to know about everybody's money. Drew, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Drew.
You got it, guys. Have a good morning. Bye-bye.
Right. Drew Rosenhaus, super agent, joining us here on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Speaking of football, Joe, fantasy football is back. We talked a little bit about it last week, and now the drafts have all started all over the place, Joe.
Everybody's getting the buddies together.
That's right. And we're going to be very happy to bring it to you each week here with a Tito's Fantasy Report. Tito's Handmade Vodka makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at Tito'sVodka.com. Joe, top 5 picks in most drafts right now. I'm sure you could guess a couple of them. Number one,
go ahead. Give me
Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
Basically the consensus number one. Dalvin Cook has made it now to being the number 2 guy on most people's list at this point. Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara somehow going to be 3 or 4. Ezekiel Elliott finds his way in there.
Really?
Yep, he does too, just because that running back position's probably the top spot.
Zeke's number 5?
He is basically right there.
Why have I lost trust in Zeke putting up big numbers?
Right, and another guy that was a number 1 pick in the last couple of years, but because the injury has dropped a little bit, Saquon Barkley for the New York Giants. You're taking a risk on him if you're taking him early in those drafts. The question mark, Saquon Barkley.
I'll tell you, if he's healthy, I'm not.
Right. No, if he's healthy, it's a different story, but there's a big if when fantasy football. So that's basically your top picks, and we'll give you all kinds of information all season long, brought to you by our friends at Tito's with the Tito's Fantasy Report here on the show. I want to also tell you about my friends, and I've been telling you about them for a long, long time now. It's my friends at Diamonds Direct and what they're doing for you right now. Again, they're just saying, let's do something for the people out there. How about 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase? That's right. For a limited time, walk into Diamonds Direct, that unbelievable showroom, and spread those payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. It really is incredible what they're doing there, and they're doing it for the people there. Here's a couple examples. So you walk in there and you find that $12,000 diamond engagement ring, that designer engagement ring. Well, you're going to pay $200 a month with nothing down. Or how about that $8,000 pair of diamond stud earrings, just $135 a month. It's remarkable what they're doing there, and the offer makes fine jewelry more affordable than ever. Everything is included, by the way, in this premier financing event. It's rings and earrings and pendants and bands and bracelets. You just find what you like, you divide the price by 60, and that is your payment. That super low payment just because of what Diamonds Direct wants to do for you. And by the way, you can even finance the sales tax. So it's a great time to upgrade to a 3, a 4, a 5 carat diamond, whatever you want to do, because it's 5 years, 0 interest on anything and everything in the store with 0 down. Just for a limited time right now at Diamonds Direct. It's in Boca behind the Town Center Mall. You got to get over there. It's all an approved credit. And like I always tell you, Diamonds Direct.
CuriosityStream has thousands of documentary films and shows on demand on any device. We're the Netflix for nerds, the Hulu for history buffs, the Disney Plus for the scientist in us. Back to school means getting 25% off annual plans at CuriosityStream. That's a little over $1 a month for thousands of brain-boosting documentaries. Hurry, sale ends Monday.
We gotta sing it!
Your life, your hopes, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m. It's really none of our business, and it shouldn't be anyone else's. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Odyssey's going back to school, and we've got all the supplies you need, like A+ exclusive music stations and podcasts to help you or your student excel. Wake up and get the school day started with Acoustic Sunrise, the best mix of acoustic pop. Hit the books with classical Odyssey, passionate classical music to help you focus while you study. Listen to essential school podcasts like Grammar Girl's Quick and Dirty Tips for Better Writing, and be inspired with TED Talks Daily. Get back to school with new exclusive stations, plus all your favorite local radio stations and podcasts on Odyssey.
Innovation, resilience, agility. It's how Michigan businesses work together and continue to build the future. Our expertise, talented workforce, and collaborative environment are making a difference now and shaping the future. Join us and make your mark where it matters. Visit michiganbusiness.org/radio to put your plans in motion. That's michiganbusiness.org/radio.
You're gonna love it.
And now, it's time for Hollywood's headlines. Without further ado, here's Here's Hollywood.
All right, Woody, what do you got for us today?
All right, guys, we started off with a fake high school, I guess. Did you guys catch this story here over the weekend? Bishop Sycamore?
Yeah, they were sick. They were sick, all right, Sycamore.
So, this is a very, very strange story here. So there's a lot of things that have come out about this school who, of course, played on national television on ESPN. I guess they played Friday and Sunday.
Yes.
How does ESPN get taken on this story? Like, these guys, they go with St. Thomas and St. Francis and Gorman and and Bosco and all, and then they go, what are you doing?
They loaded up the schedule. It's quite the gauntlet. Yeah, they lost 58-0 on national television in a game where. So there's a lot of different wrinkles to this here, guys. So first things first is they played a defender on Sunday that's originally a 2020 from Florida. Kid has reported over 24 fake offers, showed up once to a 7-on-7 tryout and used a fake ID. It also says his profile is also fake. So you have that. Then the listed address of the listed address of Bishop Sycamore, the school, is a I guess like a townhouse.
Oh God!
It's a duplex, like a little. So they showed it. It's a little house.
How does ESPN get taken on this? Like these guys that book these games, they're doing a ton of these high school football games right now, and they got all these powerhouses, and we got all our teams, our top teams playing, and like, how do you get taken? How like, I would be so mad with the booking company for ESPN.
Yeah, I didn't know that, by the way, that they actually have an outside company that gets all of their matchups.
Yeah, they're not in that business.
They outsource.
I would have thought that they did. I figured they would maybe pick their own games.
It's just the same. It's the same, like 15 or 20 schools all play each other, and then it comes down to, do I want to play IMG or not? You know.
No, this team said yes to playing IMG.
Stupid.
All right, I know we're a day late on this, but Jake Paul, Joe, did not get knocked out.
He did not
get knocked out. He won.
I didn't see it, but
he won. Won his fight against Tyron Woodley.
He lost
in front of a huge crowd. We're waiting to get numbers on the pay-per-view, but I'm guessing it did pretty well.
I'm sure it did.
Wait a sec.
Two takeaways from this thing. First, they cannot make these on Sunday night anymore.
It's the worst that's on
what,
Sunday
What are
night.
they doing going till damn near midnight on a Sunday night? That didn't make any sense.
What happened to the good old Saturday night stay-up-late fights? Like, what happened?
It was just stupid. The second thing, by the way, is Jake Paul tweeted that he is retiring from boxing.
Oh, no.
No. Jake, you can't retire. Your ass needs to get knocked out first.
I guess he said he would fight Tyron again if Tyron got I guess they agreed on a tattoo that he could get that says "I love Jake Paul," and then he would have a rematch.
Joe, that's funny. I mean, I know that you're shaking your head. That's funny.
It is kind of funny.
All right.
A great day is the Paul brothers get knocked out and then both retire. I thought he was going down. I saw the punch. He got hit. I thought he was done. And then my man decides he can turn into Muhammad Ali, swinging and goofing around.
Yeah.
But he won the fight. Woodley won the fight.
I don't know. That's not what it said.
At least you saw it.
Yeah. Well, at least
enough to talk about it here today.
I mean, I didn't see it.
I know you said you weren't very interested in it, but anyway, we go to high school football again here, and Trent Dilfer is in a little bit of hot water here. Did you see the video of him grabbing and yelling at former NFL kicker Phil Dawson's kid? He was
made a little mistake. Trent let him have it on the sideline.
There's video of him pushing a kid and screaming at him. Pretty good, letting him have it. And, of course, Trent has had to come out and apologize, and then it sparks the age-old debate here of are we getting too soft? Is this okay? Is it not okay?
I didn't like it, but it was done to me.
Right. You would have been all over social media at this point.
I've told you guys before, I remember being in the 8th grade, and big thing was to go watch Marysville High School, practice. And they're out there practicing, and this guy at the time, the coach, was just outdated, no water, man in the middle, and guys are coming at you from every angle, up, downs, and the whole team's puking.
Mm-hmm.
And he's screaming at guys and grabbing them by the face mask. I remember sitting with the other 8th graders as we're getting ready to go into high school going, why do I want to go through this? I can play basketball and baseball. And, everybody's like, come on, you got to play football. I was like, oh, man, not for that guy. Thank God the guy retired.
Well, I was about to, before you started, really?
I got into high school, and the guy retired. And that's when I knew there was a sports god. Not just God, but sports god, too.
That's pretty awesome.
He said, thank you.
Well, that guy would have had to apologize a lot nowadays.
Couple more for you guys here. Juju Smith-Schuster, did you see what he did on social media?
What did he do now? I thought he was going to calm down.
He took part, again, the season kicks off in, 2 weeks? A little less than 2 weeks.
A week from Thursday.
He took part in the Milk Crate Challenge on social media. If you've seen the Milk Crate Challenge, I think we talked about this last week. It's where you build basically like a
then blow your
staircase
ankle out or blow your knee out.
of milk crates, and you get to
crack your head open.
so the peak is 7 crates high, and we've seen people on social media take some vicious falls because it's difficult to balance.
Right.
Juju thought this would be a good idea after signing his 1-year, $8 million deal with the Steelers.
Well, I guarantee you this. They called his ass in and said, please don't do that again.
Fortunately, he made it. He did not break any bones, but not the smartest thing to be doing on social media.
It's not for older people who are a little out of shape and overweight, like me.
No, that's fair. It's also not for $1 million athletes that are under contract.
Or anyone who's got half a brain that doesn't want to fall off and crack their head open, right?
Just for social media.
That's it. That. Right.
Did you see the one where the guy did the gender reveal?
Yes.
Where he carried something, I don't know, it was like a ball or something up there, and it had the, the color powder or whatever. Yeah. So the guy gets to the top, falls, looks like he breaks his hip on his way down as he crashes down on one of the milk crates. All his friends are celebrating. He's laying on the ground in agony, and then there's just blue, like sand or paint or whatever.
Powder or whatever it is, right?
How stupid. How stupid can you be, man?
Can you really get asked that question?
Everybody's trying to get creative now and having this kid. Like, come on.
Funny you should ask. All right, we go to our final story of the day here, and this is from the Henrico County School Board, which is in Virginia. So they had one of these meetings where they let parents come in and speak, right? So they had a big list of people you could submit your name, and you'd get to speak at this thing. As you can imagine, it was, it had to do with masks or whatever. So this is from Henrico in Virginia here.
This is so great, Joe.
You guys work for us in this environment. You answer to us, and I'm asking that you do not pass this policy in Virginia.
Thank you so much, Ms. Thomas. We do appreciate you. Phil McCracken.
Just keep listening. It gets better.
Phil McCracken.
Mm-hmm.
Sook. Mahit. Ophelia McHawk. McHawk. Eileen Dover.
So good.
Don Kiddick.
Right.
Don Kiddick.
Yep.
Wayne Kerr.
Dude, they got through all these names. I couldn't stop laughing.
Nobody cried there. Like somebody wasn't like.
Nobody caught on in the entire crowd there.
That's kind of like we got Woody a couple weeks ago.
But this guy kept going. If Woody would have read 9 names, that's one thing. Oh, you have to go back and listen to that again. If you didn't realize what one of those names were, listen to it slow.
Oh, I'm sure he figured it out.
When? After he read them all 15 times?
Somebody got him, man. Somebody got him.
Really bad.
Oh, God, that was funny. It was good.
Joe, that was so good.
I mean, there's video of it, too, which is really funny. So they're in, like, an empty chamber, and they're calling people in, like, one by one to speak, and this guy's just, he's sitting there. He's got a mask on.
Yeah,
so you can't see his much of his face.
But it's nice because the mask thing is just getting old, and it's picking up.
Yeah, it seemed it was time to play a good prank.
Somebody got
these guys. We really needed that, Woody, instead of you getting everybody stirred up about the mask.
This was really, really
nice,
fun.
Nice angle.
Great video.
Very, very good stuff. That was great. Anyway, we've got 8 o'clock hour coming up. 305-567-0560. As we can, that was very funny, man. All those names.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, people. That's
Just listen to it slowly one more time if you didn't hear the names, folks.
Yeah, no, that was very, very good. I haven't used some of those. That was
in a long time, right?
We have time. You want me to play it again?
No. We're good. We got 8 o'clock out. We're going to be right on time. Even our boss, he's about right now. He's going to go, wow, you guys are on time today, man. That's great.
You guys been talking?
No. Nope. Haven't seen him in a while.
Eileen?
Have not seen him in a while.
Dover?
No, Eileen Dover. That's classic, man. All right. Hey, listen, real quickly, I want to talk to you about great rates right now. I don't know if anybody's noticed lately, and whether you're thinking about refinancing or anything else, I just want to let you know you got to lock in these low fixed rates that are out there right now that people aren't talking enough about. But Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgages, rates are at 2, at an even 2 right now for you to get. You want to get money, it's cheap. Just to break it down real simply for you, man. Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage wants to let you know, please take advantage of it. Reverse mortgages, debt consolidation, VA loans, refinancing, anything like it. This guy's going to get you low rates, even if your credit score's taking a hit and the banks have said no. Michael Kotze says, let me get creative. Give me a shot. Give me a shot to help you out. That's part of what he does. Plus, the banks are taking forever to get you approved. Ever. How about if I told you half the time Michael Kotze could get you approved at the same rate, if not better? That's what Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage has been doing for the last 25 years for people right here in South Florida. No nonsense, no run around. He does it all for you. Isn't it about time to have a little conversation with Michael Kotze? Any question you might have and you go, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I want to do that right away. How about you've been thinking about buying for the first time? You've been renting forever, and everybody tells you this is stupid that you rent all the time. You're not building up any equity. You're missing out on a great chance. And with money so cheap, your monthly payment, I'm telling you, it's a great, great time to stop renting and start buying. So with these low rates in the 2, right at 2 right now, don't look back. Get pre-approved in minutes for free when you call Michael Kotze. Here's his cell phone number, 561-441-2730, 561-441-2730, or you can visit choicemortgage.com. You can learn everything you need to know about Michael Kotze at choicemortgage.com, and they've got the number there for you. MLS 166254. Rates and terms are subject to change daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender. Please make that call today. Get and take advantage of these low rates. They won't be around forever.
CuriosityStream has thousands of documentary films and shows on demand on any device. We're the Netflix for nerds, the Hulu for history buffs, the Disney Plus for the scientist in us. Back to school means getting 25% off annual plans at CuriosityStream. That's a little over $1 a month for thousands of brain-boosting documentaries. Hurry, sale ends Monday.
We gotta sing Odyssey's going back to school, and we've got all the supplies you need, like A+ exclusive music stations and podcasts to help you or your student excel. Wake up and get the school day started with Acoustic Sunrise, the best mix of acoustic pop. Hit the books with classical Odyssey, passionate classical music to help you focus while you study. Listen to essential school podcasts like Grammar Girl's Quick and Dirty Tips for Better Writing, and be inspired with TED Talks Daily. Get back to school with new exclusive stations, plus all your favorite local radio stations and podcasts on Odyssey.
Your life, your hopes, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m., it's really none of our business, and it shouldn't be anyone else's. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.